Hello, it's Reverend Mike again, Reverend Mike Warner, and today I want to talk about cancer, but also I want to talk about possibilities. I want to talk about dowsing. I want to talk about information gathering. I want to talk about your state of mind and how important that is in being able to reach out and change your life. Wow, that's a lot to talk about. But I'll give it a go and see how good we are at getting it. The book that I want to talk about today is called Cancer Glue for Possibilities. There's my little Humpty Dumpty. And the subtitle is Dowsing Power. Dowsing is an ancient system of divining, of getting information. It used to be called water witching because it was a way that people in the early days could find water using a Y piece of branch off a birch tree, I believe, for most of them. And they would use this and walk around with the stick in their two hands, and when they were finding water, the stick would go down. It would be a way that they would get a readout. Today we get readouts on computers, but back then we got readouts by sensitivities in the channeler, in the one connecting with spirit, and in the way that the devices read out the answers to the questions that we were working on. So this topic, dowsing, is something I've studied for years. Over 20 years I've worked with dowsing, and it's a wonderful thing for getting health information. And it's not the same way that it was done to find water, but it's a way that you can ask questions, yes or no, and get indications. Now, it's also a skill, so it's not something that you can buy a book and get good at in 5 minutes. But the power of dowsing is outrageous. And getting information from dowsing can really change your life if you're ready to work at it. And I say work, not that it's so tedious or strenuous that someone who's a little bit under the weather can't do it. I say work in that it's a process where you or someone you love or someone who loves you just sits down and works at it. Works at finding out what's good for you and what's not good for you and what have you. And the little book that I've written talks about how you can get a free book from the American Society of Dowsers that tells you how to do this. And if you just go to letter to Robin, Letter to Robin, ROBIN.org, you can get this little book that's called a workbook on the pendulum dowsing. And all the instructions are in there. And while I'm talking about books, of course, you all know that I keep referring to these books, and these books are offered free routinely on my website, Angel Raphael Speaks, at the Healing Presence tab. And I include that information down below so that you can get the details that you need to access those free books. And the Letter to Robin book, that's also free, you can download on off the internet and have that and do that. And one of the parts of that book is 100 interesting things to know about yourself. So this part of the book can tell you about things you're sensitive to and things that you should stay away from. And it also talks about noxious energies that could be the cause of what you're dealing with at the present time. It talks about the imbalances that you could have in your body and how you can measure them so that you can have the information. And you'll be amazed if you find information there and then go tell your doctor, and the doctor tests you for things that you're not really supposed to know because their test didn't bring it to you, but you could find out about yourself. And many people have done this, and I don't know that it's well documented in the general public information, but if you study dowsing, you'll find out where some of these things can be found. The American Society of Dowsers is a fabulous organization to get this information. The Canadian Society of Dowsers also. The Canadian Society of Questers, the Toronto Dowsers are all wonderful organizations that you can go to their websites and find information about the books and ideas that you can use to reinvent yourself, to realign your thinking with what's possible for you, to get out of the funk of thinking that the game's over. The game ain't over unless you stop thinking and stop moving and just sit and wait. You're here for a reason, and if you're still here, then you still got work to do. So that's my philosophy, anyhow. And I just think that there is so much that you can do for yourself, and everything I talk about is hope, and everything I talk about is love, and all these two concepts primarily offer you is the ability to direct yourself in a way that can serve you, can serve your health, can serve your ability to claim wellness in your life, and can claim hope. Now, nothing I'm talking about is against medical advice. Everything you do, you should get the best medical advice that you can get, and discuss everything that you can learn and bring forward. But information is power, and whether you get it from dowsing or you get it from taking notes of everything that's going on with you so that you can report that to your doctor, information is power. I invite you to remember that. I invite you also to look down below. I'll include a link to a website, a YouTube that Michelle Aubin has put out about her soul work, which is also free, and you can look at that YouTube look. And she was interviewing me about my Angel Raphael website and how all that works. And you might find that interesting. If not, you can always turn it off and come back and see another one of these Cancer Healing Chat YouTubes. You know, I don't know what's out there that will interest everybody, but I'm throwing an awful lot of stuff out there because I want the maximum number of people to be thinking about positive things so that they can reassemble all that they've got to go forward with, and they can use it to optimize, to create the abundant living in the days that they have ahead. So that's my story for today, and possibilities are still available to you. Dowsing can help you figure out what they are, and I wish you well, and God bless you and keep you. Amen.